One of my new favorite genre mashups that has been occurring recently, and we're seeing a ton more in these Next Fests that come out, that we get so many incredible demos. Welcome to the Next Fest, by the way. We're going to be playing a lot of demos for the next week or so. One of the things we've been seeing is puzzle games that are being recreated as roguelikes, and I love it. It's combining two genres that I really love. Today, we look at one of these puzzle game roguelikes. This is Witching Stone, which is a puzzle game matched with a deck building roguelike where we're going to be customizing a spell book and weaving spells to defeat our enemies, and it's a little anime. That's okay, I'll look past it just this one time. Let's play. This is releasing sometime this year, no date set yet. You can play the demo, link in the description down below. Wishlist the game if you enjoy it. That does help developers a lot, so please wishlist the game. Let's play and see what's going on in Witching Stone. Looks like there's 3 characters, 2 of which are playable in the demo, as this third character who is about as horny as you can get, not available in the demo at this time. Let's play as Gwen, who has 2 starting spells. We can deal 4 damage, and we can apply 2 shield with a circle, triangle, triangle, and a upside down triangle, triangle for the shield. And it appears that maybe there's 5 different starting sets for this character as well. So you can really think of this as like 15 characters if you want to look at it like that. Let's start and see what's going on. So, little tutorialization. Combat encounters. Touching a combat encounter will start a battle. You can tell the difficulty in advance. Traffic light protocol. We love it. Goal is to become strong enough to defeat the boss. Move to the next act, and then here's other events. They're all upgrades. So, spell upgrade, badge upgrade, blessing, shop, and rest. Shop requires acorns. You get 1 from each combat encounter. Okay, cool. So immediately, I mean, I'm looking at the idea of going this way and hopping into combat. So, drawing paths. In combat, you can only interact to draw a path on the stone grid and then hitting go. Okay, your path must travel through adjacent cells, and its length is limited to my mana. Gotcha. Okay, mana regenerates after each round. To cast spells, your path must touch each stone in a sequence. Does not need to be consecutive, but it must be in order. Interesting, okay. So that works. Does not need to be consecutive, but must be in order. That's fascinating, okay. Sure, I'm with it. And then it highlights for me kind of order that things are in. So I can theoretically, I mean, I have 4 mana, no, I have 5 mana associated right now, which is interesting. If I want to hit you, that's actually going to be hard. But this is creating wrinkles in my brain already, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you that what I think I like is... So that applies that. Can I do 2 shield here? So I think that activates it twice. So you're hitting me for 3 and you're adding some jams to the board. But I can block for 4, I think. Yeah, so that applied that twice. Nope, it applied it once. Okay. So doing that twice does not... You can't call the same spell twice. Okay, that's good. Status above an enemy shows their intention. Picked up on that. You're doing nothing this turn. This is a good opportunity for me to get a little crazy. Okay, so we are going to hit ya. That's going to do 4 damage. Now, do I carry over mana? That's going to be my next big question. It appears that I have no clue. I have no clue if we carry over mana. But I love this, because this is going to hit you and it's going to apply shield. This is like the dream scenario for us, because we can activate both at the same time. Good damage. We love it. Okay, so that finishes that. I gain an acorn, and now I get a new thing. And my new thing is a badge. So damage plus 25%, all values plus 1, pristine. So I cannot pass other stones in a cast sequence. That is hard. Okay. All values +1, but I add a stone to the cast sequence. I think this is better. I don't know. They're both kind of weird. These both completely change the way we play. I think we want this for right now. Applying badges. Oh, it just applies it to 1. Interesting. Drag badges onto spells to add effects. Experiment and create new abilities. Okay. So they're powerful, but they can be double-edged. I picked up on that already for sure. So all values +1. I think you want this, but now you've added a red in the middle of this, which is kind of gross, right? This kind of gross. This adds a blue to the end of it. And it looks like each one of these can have two badges. I think that more shield is better than more attack at this stage of the game. So let's jump back to this guy. Let's hop into battle again. You are planning on hitting me for 2, which is fine. I have 5 mana available. We have an easy attack set up here for next turn. So let's focus on. But you're gonna fall down. Let's do this. Oh god, I'm clicking all over the place. I don't want. Stop clicking things. The UI a little wacky in this game. So if I draw this, right, that would give us shield, and then that's gonna drop these 2 columns down, and if it puts a yellow there, then we're lined up for an attack in this column. So I think I like this. That way I do 3 shield, you do my 2 damage. You are now applying 2 shield to yourself. We did not get the play we wanted here, but I think that that's okay. I actually am going to tell you, I like the idea of just going straight across instead. That way if you drop a red down, I'm lined up for another attack here. So we'll hit you for 4. You drop the red down, which is great. You're hitting me for 2. Okay. Let's shield on this turn. Just to make sure that we're not getting too crazy up in here. You're hitting for 2. I take no damage. And then I kill you because your shield dissipated. I like it. I like it. But it's important that we try to line up very specific components of this, I think. Let's grab this. Are you a new spell? You are a new spell. Okay, so I can restore health with this. Value -1 after cast, but that's just for this fight. 2 greens. This is a piercing. You ignore shield. You do 1 damage. Now, that I'm intrigued about. Spell can be entered multiple times a turn. I'm very intrigued with you, because now we can do this if we want to. And now we got this weird, 2 damage piercing attack, which I think is unique. This game is very cool. I'm having a very good time with this. I can see this really becoming something special. It's simple, right? It's very simple, but it's simple and good, right? It's got really unique ideas that it's doing. So we can do something like this. 2 piercing damage, and I apply my shield. Unfortunately, I still take damage from this. And we really had no way around that unless we... This is a brutal fight, man. Holy crap, you're crazy. Disgusting. And then you're freezing my stuff, which is gross too. I'm getting hit for 5, man. How am I supposed to combat this? This is crazy. I probably should not have done piercing damage since it's largely irrelevant. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Okay, let's just hit ya. Love the idea of just hit ya here. And I love the idea of trying to add more pieces to this as well, because this is now going to drop... Oh yeah, it does get rid of it. That drops this into here, so we do have this attack in place if we want. Fades over time. When cleared, deal 2 damage to self. I do not need to do that. Instead, I can just kill you. Okay, I mean, that wasn't as bad as I was being very dramatic. And I respect that about myself. I appreciate being dramatic. I'm a very basic little you-know-what. Okay, what is Arrow? Arrow is a blessing. Begin combat with 2 extra mana, I think is crazy. Increase max mana storage by 2, I think is crazier. Yeah, I think that's nuts. I think that's very good. And then we just have to be careful carrying over mana, how we handle it. So give me another spell. Start to get interesting. Apply to power. Love that. I mean, I really love that. We can chain that directly into an attack, and then it's pretty good. Or we have the Earthquake Barrage. Wow, this is insanely good. This is insanely good, man. 2 damage and then 1 damage per enemy to all enemies. This is an absolutely absurd spell. You have to take that. And now we have 4 spells, and I have a feeling that the 4 spells, we can only have 4 spells. So that starts to get interesting. I don't think the extra damage on this is important, and I don't think the extra damage on this is important. I think that we're getting burned on shield. So I want to be cautious about how we handle shield. Let's do this intermediate fight. What are you doing? Once per turn after taking damage, you apply 3 shield. Okay, and you're hitting me for a little bit. I mean, I would deal 4 damage to all enemies if I have the play here, which I do. So that's kind of cool. 4 damage to all enemies kills you. I take 2 in the process. I could shield instead. Like, we could do... I really do not like the UI. It makes it hard. There needs to be, like, a way to right-click and then dump all of the stuff you've already done, right? Something like that. This is where I'm thinking we apply shield so I only take 1 damage, right? Then we can set up next turn with a really good barrage into a potential piercing damage as well. Because the barrage will hit, it'll kill him. He will apply shield immediately after taking damage, and then we could pierce off of that. So I take 1 damage on this turn, we carry over 2 mana, and then this lines me up for a potential really big play, because now I have 7 mana. So we can go like this, that's the 4, and then I can run that directly into... I could run it directly into another one here. So this is going to hit each of you for 5. Then you're going to put on 3 shield. I'm going to hit you for 1. I'm not sure that that's... Well, it's probably the best we got. I could just apply piercing then to you, because then it's hitting the same amount, but I'm using less mana. Because the 4 damage that I'm going to hit him for after the shield, I'm only going to hit him for 1. And I don't have the ability to do any shield because I only have 1 remaining water shield. So this seems the most effective to me. Good damage. He now gets hit, and then I pierce him for 1. And then your shield goes away at the start of your turn, and I'm lined up for a beautiful little attack on you to finish you. It's an intermediate fight, bro. You're gonna take a little damage, I think, in these. Let's grab a blessing. Increase total spellbook capacity. That seems ridiculously good. After each turn, regenerate an extra mana. Also seems freaking incredible. This is nice, but I'm not sure I need it. I think this is going to end up being very valuable for me, so I'm going to take that. It's not useful in the direct right now, but it's useful in the future. Let's heal. Okay. Heal for 6. That's fine. And then I guess you fight a large enemy. So what's your vibe here? On defeat, he restores 2 health. Take 1 damage at the end of the turn, ignoring defense. So he's putting 1 poison on me. I gotta kill your ass immediately, bro. We can't be having this poison nonsense. You're summoning bees. Yeah, I'd prefer you didn't do that either. So start me with a 5 damage to all enemies to wipe out one of these guys. Earthquake is just, it's insane. I mean, it is such a good, it's so good. it's just so good. And then we can mess around and we can do something like this. Hold on. Is there a better way for me to do that? It would be, let's reverse you back. We need to go the here to here to here to, but I have to go to the yellow first. So it's here to here, here to here, here. But I can't skip that red, and I'm out of mana. I have to just run Earthquake here. So it'll be, how do we line ourselves up for next turn? If we do it like this, we have the ability to shield. Yeah, this is fine. You're adding honey to my stones. I'm not too concerned about that. This is 5 damage to, excuse me? 1 per enemy? 1 per enemy? There's multiple enemies. It's a demo. Bound to be bugs. You have muddled my cast, which is kind of annoying. Now, fortunately, you haven't muddled it that much. I'm still kind of chilling on this one. So let's do that. We're gonna hit each of you for only 4, apparently. Oh wait, am I crazy? This was always 3? Maybe I'm just insane. I guess that was correct. I swear to God that was a different number a second ago. But I suppose that I've just lost my mind. I'm not sure we have a valid barrage here. Yeah, I don't have a valid barrage here. But I just need to hit you for 4, so just go back to Old Faithful. 4 damage, send it. That was not that bad of a fight, to be honest. Oh, this is decaying every time it... Did one of the enemies have something on them that it was decaying that? Probably, and I just missed it. Okay, I'm just bad. That's fine. Destroy 3 unused stones. A stone not in the cast sequence of a spell. So when we would use that spell, it's going to exhaust stones that are not part of that spell. Interesting. Very interesting. And then this is just a defensive spell that adds 1 block. So I can put this on my shield and it would go up a level. That would make our block now a 4 block. The problem with our spells right now is we are actually using every stone type. So I don't really feel good about this. So I guess I just take this, but I don't think it's that good. Right? Like, it's fine. Oh, this is updating based on the enemies. That's why I'm getting confused. So it's a 2 by default, but then it retroactively adds that. Okay, we're good there. We're good there. I understand now. This is now, I really don't need 4 shield per turn, I don't think. So maybe this just moves on a... Although this is interesting too, the ability that he can repeat, I haven't used that to its full potential. I think this spell sucks. I think I like this being a 5 damage. I'm having a damn blast with this. I want to continue to reiterate that. This is a lot of fun. Really, really neat idea. Once per turn after taking damage, you deal 10 to yourself and then summon more people. Okay. So I really just want to hit you with basic things, okay? So hitting you for 5 here is definitely the move. If I play my cards right, though... but I don't get that blue. No, I need to just hit you for 5. So let's just hit you for 5. Carrying over mana still, we're still looking at that as a very important thing to do. Okay, you've gooed me up. You're hitting me for 5. And I only have 5 mana available. So, how do we want to handle you? I mean, hitting both of you for 4 in a perfect world seems good, but that's going to dump a lot of people out on the board. So, God, to be honest with you, this is just kind of ugly. This is just kind of ugly. Now, the other thing to think about is that by using Barrage gets stronger because you're going to dump out another person. So maybe this is actually insane. Like, potentially this is useful because now you dump out another guy. I still take 5 damage here. But now I'm hitting everybody for 5. And we can do something as simple as this, and then it adds another piercing damage after that, which will hit you. I wish there was one more lad, because I'm definitely taking a lot of damage here. Maybe this was not as intelligent. Oh, it pierced the back guy. What the heck? Why did it pierce the back guy? I mean, I love that it did. Is this just, it hits a random person? Because, I mean, that's friggin' sick. I'm very pleased about it. This is now awesome because we only spend 4 to... I mean, I guess it's the same. I guess it's the same. This will do the 2 piercing to you, but I could also just deal 5 damage to you. Or I could Earthquake. I can't Earthquake because I don't have an extra green. I actually think this is a pretty solid play. This way, we pierce you twice, and then it lines us up for an Earthquake, but we don't really even want an Earthquake, because we'd prefer to just hit you. So we can now, and we're lined up for actually a very nice 5 damage and 3 shield, which resolves having to do anything with him. Breaks the shield, and then we're lined up for just a nice attack here. And we can go... boom, 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 boom. And hit you for 5. What, we took like 7 damage in this fight? Something like that. But I think it was fairly elegant. And then we hit our shop here. For which Squirrel just turned into a woman. And you're selling spells. You're selling badges. Okay, and each one is 3. So I can effectively buy 2 here. A 9 damage exhaust, very intriguing. Aimless hits a random target. Once cast, cannot be cast again for 2 turns. But it casts twice. So I could theoretically boost that with a badge. It would become a 2 damage twice to a random target. That is so significantly worse, for 4, so significantly worse than anything else I have. This vulnerable is unique. Especially as a 2. I kind of like that. What do we got in terms of badges? When cleared, we apply power to stones. So when that stone gets... It's a power-infused stone. When that stone gets cleared, it applies power to me. It's interesting. Plus 2 damage to targets with the highest health. Oh, this is just when it fires, we hit the target with the highest health for an additional 2. It's interesting. This just adds 2 of those to the board. I mean, this is kind of cool. I guess I'll take that. And then I'm intrigued about the stone here, because we could basically ensure that every time we use our shield, I can get a shield back on the board, which is nice. But we have to stay ahead of the curve, and I think in this game, damage is going to be greater than shield, so I'm going to take vulnerability. Especially as a cheap 2 cost, I think it's pretty good. And especially now, I will tell you what I think is even more interesting is putting that on this. Because now this is a 2 damage and vulnerability. Now, unfortunately, the damage occurs first, which is kind of annoying. I would love for the vulnerability to be first, but it is what it is. we would want to chain this into something else anyway. And we're now going to want to chain this into a spark for 5 mana, so I don't want this. I think you maybe want this back on your shield. So now you can chain Corrode into Water Shield or Corrode into Spark when you have 5 mana. There's a lot you have to think about with this, and I really like it. I think that this is doing some really interesting things. Okay, so this is an Earthquake scenario. Has to be an Earthquake scenario. There's no negotiating here, because you save 2 damage in the process. Although we get hit for 3. What else is going on here? So you, once per turn after taking damage, you add a Drosera to the board. If it's on the board at the end of the turn, you deal 3 damage to yourself. But that's probably to me if I have it on my board. Okay, maybe I gotta think about this differently then. I only have 5 mana. So if I hit... But that's when you take damage. So even my Giant Slayer here is going to end up hitting me. I think you gotta remove the ads, man. I think you gotta remove the ads. I gotta make sure I do that in the right order. So this is now 5 damage to everybody. You're going to hit me for 3 here. You're also adding the Drosera to my board. And then now, if it's on the board at the end of the turn, it deals 3 damage to me. And I can include it in here, which is good. You're summoning a Wither Rose. Okay, this is where we want to go kind of crazy with... I only have 5 mana. we need to go kind of crazy with potentially doing some plays with Giant Slayer. If I had a little bit more mana, we could do a lot more. I think that we like this. We apply the vulnerable to you. What I don't know is if the vulnerable is going to immediately go away upon me doing this. But if I carry over a little bit more mana, I'm still hitting you for 2 and I'm removing stuff from the board. So I think that that's good. The vulnerable stays for this turn. That's really huge. It does put us in a bit of a wonky spot for this turn, though. You're gonna put 2 Drosser on the board. We really want to kill this guy. And I've got 7 mana to figure out how to do that. I don't have an Earthquakeable scenario, otherwise we'd be considering it. So I kind of have to chain together and do something like this. We're gonna hit you, and then we still clear the Drosera. Your vulnerability still stays, and I still carry over, I think, 1 mana from this because I only use 6. So now there's 2 Drosera. I have 6 mana at my disposal, and in a perfect world, we're gonna hit you for a lot. Unfortunately, the world is not perfect. It hates you. So we don't actually have a very good play here. We can put the vulnerability on you. And then we can just dump into the other Drosera. You're just applying 2 more Drosera. But it's keeping the vulnerability on you. And the vulnerability, I'm gonna do an additional damage. So I'm gonna hit you for 3 and then keep you vulnerable. So it's not horrible, but this is now a lot of Drosseras on the board. And each one does 3 damage to me. It's disgusting. I have to... I cannot do it all. I cannot do it all. That's just the reality, is I cannot do it all. if I do this, so the Droceras, if on board at end of turn, you deal 3 damage to me. I can block one of them. Nah, we gotta block. We gotta block 2. We gotta block 2. Let's just keep. Let's keep this going. So I'm gonna hit 2 of them. I'm gonna carry. I do not need that to start it though. So get off of that. I can clear 2 of them. And then, believe it or not, that's really not horrible. This just isn't horrible, I think. Oh, you're hitting me for 4 as well on this turn. Okay, that's significantly worse. That's way worse. So I need to instead... God, this is so nasty. This is so nasty. If I do this, I'm gonna take 6 damage at the end of the turn. But I'm going to still hit you for 3 and keep. Pretty bad. Okay, pretty bad. I only have 5 mana. And you're planning on hitting me again. So I have to do this. This is the only way that I stay alive right now. And it's not gonna add another one to the board. So I get like a small reprieve and then I can hit you. We're in hell. Now, really fortunately, the vulnerable just stays on. Which is amazing. I didn't expect it to do that. This is a turn where I have to smack the living bejesus out of you. So it's something like this, and this is a pretty big damage play. But you're gonna put 3 Droceras on the damn board. My idea is that I can potentially try to kill you on this next turn. Like that's a really hardy play. And then if I apply, it would be, we start down here, we apply this, and then we apply this. And that should do 8 damage. If I'm tracking this correctly, because it's gonna hit you for 2, it's gonna apply the vulnerable, and then it's going to hit you. Oh, whoa, hold on. Hold on. It's gonna chain in this as well. I thought that once it got used. Oh, this is absurd. We can chain all kinds of stuff. I didn't even realize that. So the chaining occurs. Oh, this is more than enough damage. So it processes them. Wow, that is actually so cool. Oh, I killed myself in the process. Because there was a damn thing on the board. It's a draw. Oh, it's not a draw. You got me. You got me. Bro, brilliant game. I mean, it took until literally the last second for me to realize that you can chain multiple parts together. I mean, that completely changes the way you play the game. We did okay. I mean, we did okay. That's the demo of Witching Stone. What a fascinating little game. I really enjoyed this one a lot. Going to my wish list for sure. It should be going to yours. Go check it out. Play it for yourself. Play the demo. Brilliant little game. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.